3, 2, 1, action. Hey guys, welcome back to Off the Record, where we talk about whatever we want, and this is a special edition.
Back!
Yes.
Oh my God, guys!
Especially Joe. Joe's been gone for like.
Hey, that's not what you do.
Joe. Well, you have your mask on. Joe's been gone
I have.
like a month.
This is fogging up my glasses. I've been gone for almost a month.
Welcome back. We missed you.
I've been alone. Oh.
Were you worried you're gonna get trapped over there forever?
Well, yeah, I mean, first in Europe was nuts, dude. But you know what's crazy is that Austria's pretty much back to normal, I heard, now.
Really? They recover fast.
Wuhan opened up yesterday.
Yeah.
Were they way stricter than we are here?
Yeah. It was way quicker because, well, Austria shares a border with Italy. So when Italy was going crazy, they immediately closed the border. And then I was at Germany too. So an hour, like, into the train ride, we were checking the news, and then they announced that Germany closed its border, and we weren't even supposed to leave that day. We were just kind of like, we should just go to Austria right now.
Wow.
Yeah, man,
How's
it was
been since you've been back? Because I saw you like donating masks.
Yeah, thanks for supplying.
Thank you for the.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you exactly. Since I've been back,
Since you've been back.
it's been over 3 weeks, so almost a month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That means I haven't seen you guys in over a month.
Over a month.
He's been alone?
Yeah. The only like social contact that I've had was pretty much like the few minutes when I grab the masks, and in the few minutes that I have with like medical pros or whatever. Or sometimes I just give them my address and they'll come pick it up on my doorstep because I know they're not gonna like fanboy.
You just leave it in the middle of the driveway.
Yeah, literally, just on my doorstep or.
Well, explain how that even started though.
Oh, okay. So let me. I've been quarantined, so I'm okay.
True, we've all been quarantined. How many days have we all been quarantined?
3 weeks.
3 weeks? 3 weeks.
21. Well, today would have been 21, but now it resets because I went outside my house and I saw you guys.
Wait, you've been literally like in the house?
21
We've never
or
left.
20
Wow.
days. Yeah.
But if
Would you stockpile?
if you're quarantined, and then you meet other fellow quarantined people, aren't you still quarantined?
No. True, we're still in contact with quarantined
Technically,
people.
it doesn't count. Like it resets. So our
Why?
count resets today.
What were you gonna say?
Well,
You have to pinch this, by the way.
I've maintained the 6 feet distance no matter what during this whole time. So even though I did meet medical professionals, I never went inside the hospitals or clinics. I would be in the the parking lot, and then I'll open up my my fucking trunk. Yeah, and I'll be like, here you go.
How
Drug
did you
deal.
get it?
So here's the thing, right?
Look, I want to know how this started.
All right, so how it started is my buddy Joey. Shout outs to Joey. He's a good friend of mine for many years. From raving to he became a very successful guy in the video game industry, and so I had a ton of lemons. So like
literal lemons.
like literal lemons, right? And I'm all like, who wants some lemons, right? Because that's
How big is this tree?
It's huge.
It's fucking massive, dude. I've produced 10 full grocery bags, and I can probably produce 4 more.
Can I have some more?
One
Yeah.
tree?
I need some too.
Yeah, it's just one big ass tree.
Oh, wow.
And so he has 2 daughters, and they like his wife always makes juice, right? So he's like, hey, can I get a bag? And I'm like, you can have 2 bags, bro. So he gets it. And I was like, what you been up to? Because, like, he's always working. So he's like, oh, man, it's crazy. The hospitals need our help and all this stuff. And he starts telling me this story where he supplied a couple of these masks to some of his friends who work at hospitals. And then word got around. And then he started to figure out what was happening. So there was a supply issue for all PPEs, meaning, like, personal protective equipment, right? And we don't really know this as civilians because what's happening in the hospitals is, well, for one, there's a fuckery in the supply chain. China makes everything. So that's why when China got sick, they weren't producing, right? And then when Iran, Europe, everybody else got sick before us, they had to buy all the stock. So China needed stock, so did Europe. So then the American hospitals, we didn't prepare for this shit. And like the other thing is that the American hospitals, where what we use is, a lot of people are wondering why we don't have supply, and it's because we do something called just-in-time logistics. And it all started with the car industry, but they realized that you make more money and you save more money when you don't have a whole warehouse full of supplies. And so what they'll do is over the years, they do some math, right? And they figure out generally this is how many people will get sick annually. And over the years, they know like how many, flu season's coming around, we should order about 1,000 masks or whatever they need, right? But no one prepared for, one, no supplies in stock, and two, people being this fucking sick.
And worldwide too.
They actually cut back on the supply in the past year or two because of the tariffs. So hospitals have been cutting back on how much they need to hold on hand.
Yeah.
Because of the tariffs, it just costs so much to import it from China.
Terrorist?
Tariff.
Oh, it just sounds like terrorist.
Difficult.
Yeah. So
No, but you know what else is crazy too? When I used to work at the hospital, I used to see like an insane amount of waste. Like so much waste. Like, so, okay, they have these carts, like these isolation carts when someone has to be like quarantined. But then when hospital workers go in, they have to wear their PPE and like these yellow gowns, all these gloves, everything. Every single thing that's in that cart even if boxes haven't been opened and shit, they still throw it out just because it was in that cart. So it was so much waste.
Because they don't consider the cardboard box like contamination proof?
No.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like they still made us throw everything away.
you know how bad it is? It's like, so that's what you're supposed to do standard-wise.
Yeah.
And standard-wise, as soon as you see a patient, you're supposed to redo everything.
Everything, yeah.
They don't have enough supplies. They have to use one fucking mask.
The whole day?
The whole day. So a lot of people are like, you need to give them N95s. And I'm like, you guys don't even fucking know right now. Like right now, this is good quality, and this is like a 3-ply or something. Like they're getting 1-ply. Like, you know how your cousin was telling me, like I gave Bart's cousin's girlfriend and their whole bunch of friends a bunch of these masks.
She works at a hospital.
Yeah, they work at a hospital.
They were just having a
downtown.
party.
But what they were telling me is that the hospitals are providing really cheap, not even standard FDA masks. They just don't have supply. And so it's gotten to the point where some hospitals, especially the underfunded or the you know, like the in lower communities or whatever, right? Like they don't have like the support that major hospitals do. And it kind of sucks because what's happening there is like they have to stop surgery. They have to stop doing certain things because they don't have equipment. And so they're saying like people literally like are at life and death, and it's not because they have the Ronas, it's because there's no supplies. So people who need to get surgery right now, they can't even operate.
Yeah.
We had a friend that worked at Cedar Sinai, and he got laid off because they're like, we just can't give you work. And then he was like, they basically cut all the surgeries that were life-threatening.
What does that person do? He goes around playing the violin?
He was an EMT.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, so he brought patients in and stuff.
So he's important.
Yeah, but then so they were like, if someone needed to get surgery right now because of like diabetes and take their leg off, they're like, we have to wait like 2 months.
Yep.
Yeah, I know they're pushing back anything like considered non-essential, even in terms of medical. So like if you had a colonoscopy planned, it's all canceled.
Yeah, my cousin still does what I used to do, and she said, like, luckily for her, the last time I spoke to her, she's still able to have work, but her clinic specifically is like not a trauma clinic or anything like that. So like, she's just like, yeah, luckily I don't know how, but I still have work right now because they're still doing non-emergency surgeries. So I'm like,
That's what people don't know
crowded.
either too, that hospitals, they make the bulk of their money doing the extra surgeries or the most complicated surgeries. They don't make that much as like just when sick people come in, like regular stuff. Yeah, they make the most on the high, like high insurance.
Specialty stuff.
Yeah. And like plastic surgery, all this other stuff, right? And another thing is like people don't know that there's so much like red tape and politics involved in hospitals too. Like they have to get from this list of suppliers. Like I even know that people that work in hospitals are saying don't send to the administrators and don't just drop it off at the hospitals.
because they could throw it away.
No, they're hoarding it. Or they're throwing away like because it's not standard or whatever. But
Hoarding it for what reason?
they need a ration. And then so like you'll get one of these masks for the whole entire day. So what we've been doing is giving it direct to nurses, and what they'll do is they'll just pass it to their friends.
I picture you.
Black market
I
style.
picture you in the parking lot. You're like, hey, do me some masks.
Yeah, that's what they're being confiscated, but then like they can't do anything if you're like a healthcare professional, you bring it from home, right? And then you give it to your friends. That's different from like hospital regulations. So hospitals have to follow their own regulations, which is like these masks are not whatever, you know.
They're not from this particular vendor who
Yeah.
have
So
a
what happens then?
relationship
So
with.
they literally confiscate it from these people that are bringing out.
No, if it
them are
comes to
getting in
there,
trouble.
they're not allowed to pass it out to them.
If it's like out in the public and there's a paper trail, you can't. But then if you're bringing your own personal stash, it's almost as if like I bring a sandwich to work. I know Nadeem's hungry, so I split my sandwich with him, even though I know there's not enough food at the cafeteria. So technically, I'm not supposed to. But it's like the reality is he's hungry as fuck, and so I'm just sharing food.
I know some hospitals were getting in trouble because they would say that not everyone can use a mask right now and blah, blah, blah. And some people would bring their own mask. And there would be some nurses that would bring their own mask in, and then they would get in trouble for bringing their own mask in. They would actually get laid off until they report it to the news, and then all of a sudden the hospital's in trouble, and then they hire back on the nurses out of like, you know, scared of PR and
They're
shit.
super, super particular because I remember, like, I used to work as I forgot the term already, but I would jump from hospital to hospital. I was a
Rotations?
hospital hopper. No, what was it?
Rotations?
No, not rotation. Oh my god, per diem. I was per diem. So anyway, okay, so some hospitals, they were mandatory that I use the disposable hair net thing. And then other hospitals, they allowed us to buy our own and bring our own and like wash our own shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if one hospital could do, like, you're right. There's just so much
Yeah.
politics where I'm like, this is ridiculous.
They all got their own different
Each
rules.
hospital is a business, is what people don't realize. It's like, well, even if it's county funded, it comes from the taxpayers' money, and that's their business.
And
right?
each hospital is its own brand. But I think people don't understand that. So like, most people seek medical care because it's a necessity, so they just think it's a necessary service. But like, there's a difference between like a Kaiser Permanente, the county, Cedars-Sinai. They're actually brands, and the brand of medicine that they serve is all different.
And they have a different culture for each hospital. And well, I spoke to a doctor right here at the Royal Balm clinic or whatever. It's like in East LA. And what he was saying is, well, he has a great relationship with his administrators, but a lot of healthcare professionals are afraid to speak out. Because I'll be like, hey, can you like take some photos, or like, can you say something? So just there's transparency that we're sending these masks out or whatever. And a lot of them were like, well, I don't really feel comfortable because we're not supposed to be doing this. And then so a lot of them are afraid of the backlash of administrators because the hospital has an image, right? And a lot of them don't want to look like they need help. Because they're like, you have all this money, what's your problem? And the problem is, it's not the money. A lot of these hospitals have money. The problem is there's no supply, because even if they want to buy it, they can't get it. So it's like, how do we get it, right? We told retailers, a coalition of them, to stop selling it to the public. So my friend is a fucking boss, dude, because he has those kind of connections where he could just phone the CEOs of all these different retailers. And it's almost like telling Walmart, hey, Walmart, can you not sell your masks to people? And we'll take them over, and
There's real people that need. There's people that are working that need it right now.
but they're a business too, and they need to eat, and they need to do this stuff to like feed their own employees or whatever. So it's crazy, man. And so what he's managed to do is also team up with Miniso, which is the guys that produce these masks too, and they matched our donation. So we got about 15,000 in donation within a week, and then they saw what we were doing, and then they were like, okay, well, we're gonna completely just match what you guys make. And I'm like, dude, that's freaking dope.
Wow.
So that's like about 20,000 masks that they're giving us.
Dang.
But it's crazy because that's another thing too, is like, so retailers, they'll import their own masks, right? But because they're not in connection with hospitals and shit, like there's just they can't buy from them.
Yeah, they don't have direct distribution.
Yeah. But what the government is doing now is they're just going out, and anyone that has masks in the warehouses, like they're buying millions of that shit. So that's some other crazy shit that's going on.
I heard that they even like say like whatever company it was in America that was making masks and like distributing to the whole world like they came in and was like, yo, you gotta stop. It's only for America. You can't give it to anyone else but Americans.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
There's a lot of companies I've been seeing too that they no longer produce what they usually do, and now they're just creating PPE. Like for example, Nike I think is creating face shields.
A
Damn.
lot of companies have switched over to creating masks and face
Yeah.
shields. Like Tesla has been trying to do that.
They're doing ventilators too.
Ventilators, yeah. Like a lot of like big companies are trying to help out in any capacity they can.
For barbell stuff, like we have a lot of things made like overseas, like Pakistan or China, or like just even parts. And what's crazy is in certain countries, they're able to just go straight to the manufacturer and tell them what they're doing. So we had these shorts we were developing, and then there was just like, nope, you guys aren't making these shorts anymore. You guys are making PPE immediately, which is cool because the world needs it.
Yeah.
But it was crazy to see like how other businesses can get affected by it because the manufacturers can just be told by the government what to do, and then so.
I'm curious, how have you guys been spending your? I know how you have, but how have you guys been spending your days in self-quarantine?
I've been like thriving. I've been doing so good.
What have you been doing?
I like to make shit a lot, so I'm just building shit all the time. Like all the gym's closed. So I was like, okay, I need to work out. So then I made my own like squat rack.
What? You made your own
Yeah,
squat
so
rack?
at the beginning
So
of the
cool.
quarantine,
Well, you know how to weld and shit?
yeah, at the beginning of the quarantine,
He did his whole
I
motorcycle.
ran out and bought a welder. I bought like a gas tank and everything, so I could like make like legit welds.
You
So
could
I-
make a fuck ton right now if you build those things and sell it.
Yeah, well, I built
No, gym equipment is a hot commodity right now.
Troy. I built him a bench.
Masks, they're all sold out.
Selling out. Like,
Yeah, so I bought like upholstery foam and stuff, and I built B Troy a bench because he needed a bench. He was just benching on his coffee table. So
You
I
got
built-
pictures of this?
Yeah.
I might commission you to do something.
Dude, build me a squat rack.
You made apple boxes for everyone for Christmas.
I
huh?
did. And then so then yesterday I just finished building my weight tree that goes on wheels and everything.
Damn.
So I can wheels.
We have our own blacksmith in the crew.
Surprisingly enough, the wheels cost the majority of it. Like metal is not that expensive, and like heavy duty metal, and the whole tree, like without wheels, is like under $20.
Now I feel bad to say what I've been doing.
I know, I'm like, no one's gonna go now. I'm
I know,
like,
like-
shit, Nelson should have got last.
Like I've been spending all day long, wake up, going in the garage, like making shit all the way till nighttime. So
That's
me
dope.
like every day.
Dude, gym equipment, that's another thing people are doing. What?
My hobby dream is everything
Build
Nelson's
shit?
doing. Yes.
And I'm just building shit all the time.
Like just building your whole motorcycle from scratch, getting to like do woodworking, like oh, I love all that.
Your
Yeah,
Mexican
what's,
DNA's like, fuck yeah, I gotta build.
I know, that's why I was so bummed once we actually saw how much space we have in the new house. There's not enough for a workbench
build stuff?
or like my own like utility space.
There's always space somewhere. Like I make everything foldable or on wheels. So I can just hide
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah. So like what's it? Nick Offerman, you know the guy who plays Ron Swanson and stuff. He was like, the thing to get started when you're like interested in this shit is like find one thing you want to make and buy the tools you need to make that one thing, and then find one other project and you slowly like build out what you need.
That's tight.
So now I got like a whole ass workshop.
So cool. I gotta come over when this is all over.
Can you make bongs and stuff?
No, it's glass.
That's glass blowing.
You could have a metal bong. Why can't you?
That
Have a
sounds
Wooden
pretty.
bong or a metal bong.
Dude, gym equipment is crazy expensive now though.
It is,
Everything is double, literally.
When I ran out to get the barbell, so this guy was like, he was selling out all of his shit, right? And he was like, yeah, one of my other buddies wanted to come over. And well, somebody else came over right before you came. And he was trying to buy all my shit and resell it in LA for like 5 times the price.
Yup. That's what's happening.
So when he found out the guy was doing that, he was like, no, I'm not selling to you anymore because I'm trying to sell out to like everybody else here for normal price.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's dope that you did that. I would have sold it for 5 times more.
Yeah.
People are buying.
So rude.
Because it's like people want to buy that much, but they just can't find it because it's.
I bought a $200 set that you could get at Dick's Sporting Good. It was like about 200 pounds worth of weight, right? In a bar for $770.
Oh my god.
Damn, you paid for that?
It's crazy.
Yeah, because I was desperate. Like, I don't have weights. I don't have anything. Like, I need to go. I need to do stuff.
How much was it supposed to be?
200, he said.
Oh, 200.
Around like $200.
Yeah.
There's that dumbbell that like it's basically one set of dumbbells.
That's the one we have.
And you
yeah.
can change the weight on it?
How much did you get it for?
I've
was a long
got it
time
like
ago.
4 years ago. I don't
Oh,
know.
so my homie just bought one for $1,500.
What?
That is not worth
How heavy
$1,500.
does it go?
So it goes from
50 pounds,
5 to 95.
Oh, no, you got the heavy duty.
Okay.
That's still a lot of money though.
It's not worth that much.
It's probably worth a couple hundred in real life, right? I mean, like
But these are
non-quarantine
serious, like
life.
fitness people that like
You should
need
rent
to
out your equipment, Bart.
We actually are.
Yeah.
So at our gym we have a ton of equipment obviously because it's a gym, right? And then so when we shut down the gym because that's what the mayor wanted. A lot of our members, the first approach was like, I think a lot of people that are really into fitness, they care more about losing their gains than they do about like the whole Ronas.
Oh my God.
They're like, I know you guys are gonna be working out in there, man. Come on, let me come in. And then we're like, no, we're gonna follow the law. No one's working out in there.
Everyone's trying to beg you. Can I just have an extra, please?
And no one, everyone's like, we're like, let them know, like, no, we're not gonna have any special treatment. And then so the next thing, I guess, to help our members, our gym manager came up with an idea, like, what if we rent the equipment out? And since this is part of their home gym, they'll take care of it. So they put out an announcement on a newsletter, and then in one day, all of it got rented out.
Tight.
Wow.
How much equipment we have? We have like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 barbells, and everyone's like, I need one.
So your gym right now is like ghosted of all equipment.
All the regular stuff that's not specialty expensive is all gone. The expensive like competition plates, we can't afford for someone to mess it up on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
But all of our normal equipment is all rented out, which is cool. So people are still making gains at home.
I told this fool, I was like, you know what a fucking Asian I am? I told this fool, I was like, you better sell this shit right now for 5 times. And then when this is all chill and you gotta open up your business back up, you buy it for normal price.
You buy it back.
I don't think it would be normal.
Yeah, it's not gonna go back down. And then not immediately, and then we're just gonna be out of business for hella long.
Exactly.
But I feel like after this dies down, we're out of quarantine. After 3 or 6 months, people are gonna sell other stuff. Cause I have my own home gym, and it's not the same. It's not the same at training at a gym. So like I had it, and even I sold my equipment to the gym because I was like, when you go to the gym, the environment is just way different. So no matter how much stuff you have, it just doesn't feel the same, and you ended up not using it.
I'm building a new habit, man. I think I want to build a garage gym.
That's tight.
I've been enjoying it, bumping the music in my garage, just dancing in between sets. Pretty nice, pretty nice.
Well, I feel like it's because you don't have it. Like at your house, you're probably loving it now because you got used to not having it.
Yeah.
But once you go back, you're like, yeah, this isn't the same. Because you had your own whole.
If you guys want to help us out, if you guys want to help out the hospitals and all that stuff, check in the link down below. You can see we surpassed our goal, but we're gonna keep going on because a lot of hospitals are still in need of all the PPEs.
PPs.
Personal
Yeah.
equipment.